And welcome everyone to the Donny Kate Shill sometime. I don't know how long this is going to go on for. But this is the comic book podcast for the CBC channel. You can Google us and find us anywhere you like. You can find us on Twitter at Mitch692 and Halftime Joe. I think you can maybe find Joe in other places, but I can't remember.
Nah, just search it. If you're on the social media, just search it. There's a new social thing called Cheese with a
Mm.
Z.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, it's a thing. It's where like it's almost supposed to be Vine, but it's not. It's kind of weird. Yeah,
Fair enough. We have nothing apart from the comics of this week today.
which is fun. Which is what the show's about. Comics of the week.
There was something about the DO saying there's an oversaturation in the direct market, but
There was something about Shazam. They're taking away from physical printing a specific thing because it was really racist in the thing. But I was like, like, there's a lot of things, but we're just like, that's
There's nothing
super
that-
scraping the barrel. I really don't like scraping the barrel. I feel like
so we're literally just going to scrape the barrel by doing the end of the show, the entire thing.
that's not scraping the barrel. It's literally the show.
It kind of is.
This is the show.
Yeah. There was really nothing that could hold a conversation. Maybe the DO stuff could have, but I feel like we've been talking about oversaturation and shit for like 2 years now, so don't really want to talk about it more. There's too many.
We have comics and like 3 really big comics each for this month. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start it off with the first issue, and I'm gonna be talking about Mr. Miracle number 10. Now, this is this is 12 issues, right? So it's like one of these things that I'm curious as to how he's ending it because it's hard to tell how it's gonna end, but it's still such an enjoyable kind of ride because it feels like we are almost in the daily life of Mr. Miracle. If you get what I mean. Yeah, because like
it's a very mundane look at a life of a god.
Yeah, because throughout this whole issue, I mean, the series, I would say it is very. We are in the daily lives of Mr. Miracle, and I didn't think about that at first. I usually just thought this was going to be something about the big war, and I mean, it was, but at the same time, it was kind of the side of the war. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's Tom King's like wheelhouse. Let's do the big stuff, but make it really mundane.
Yeah.
But, oh, she's pregnant! Yay! No. Here's the war, but the war plays a tiny part in this. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, I thought it was still like a well drawn issue. I thought overall it was kind of just enjoyable as a read because it was this relationship between Barda and Miracle, and it's kind of you're just like, man, I want to read more of them. I just want to continue more. They have this relationship where kind of Barda takes a shit, and no other ways to say it, and it's Miracle's is kind of like trying to get out of like situations sometimes that Barda puts him in. It's like you can't get out of that one, man. You're right. You put yourself in that one.
Now tell me, did you catch the Marvel references?
Yeah, with the Silver Surfer and.
Well, there was that one, but there was another one.
What was the other one? Because I know the Galaxy or the Star Eater or whatever they called it.
I think it was when they're in the bar. Yeah. We can go off to be a team and fight, and we'll have a good name: blue and gold and red and green and yellow.
Oh, you're talking about
So
X-Men?
I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Nice.
I thought it was that was. I didn't expect Ted Cord and Booster Gold to show up. I was like, that's cool. Those are two like some of my favorite characters, and them showing up just having a drink with Scott. Yeah, like, that's cool. If there is a movie about Mr. Miracle, which I know they're making a New Gods movie, but that isn't a Mr. Miracle movie. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's gonna be about Barda and Miracle.
If it is, I wouldn't mind seeing two of my favorite characters on screen in Ted Cord and Booster Gold.
They're like the perfect introductory characters for the whole like Fourth World stuff. So
yeah, I mean, I'd enjoy that. I just like I said, I wouldn't mind Booster and Ted showing up and just kind of like hanging out. They're friends with Scott, which is weird, but I guess it's not because they're not. I mean, they're in the league, but they're not. It's kind of like they try to be in the league, and so is Scott, but he's not. It's like this weird thing where they do stuff to be in the league, but they're not really like in this inner circle. So I thought it was cool that he kind of hangs out with them, and they're all kind of beach bums in their own way. But yeah, it's just great, man. Like there's like, I guess the favorite everybody what they're talking about would have to be when he's like asked the clerk, like, what would you do? Would you give up your kid? I was like, that's kind of funny.
I mean, it's not exactly a funny thing, but
no,
it's
but I was like,
the way they present it.
It's such a funny, it's such a humorous situation because, like, is this guy really just asking the clerk, like, what would he do if he had to give like his son away to win a war for millions and stuff like that? And then the whole life equation. I just thought, Tom King, though we give him, or at least I do give him some shit about like what happened in between when Batman got engaged to the actual wedding. Like, I always thought Tom King really fell off around then, but Mr. Miracle still kept it up, and even now when I'm talking about Batman later, he still keeps it up. He's really great when he doesn't have to lead into something, it feels like. When you don't know ahead of time, when it's still a secret.
Yeah.
Because if you kind of know ahead of time, you're like, but yeah, I mean, there's not much more other than I just like the fact that he's changing shirts all the time. Reverse Flash. I
mean, that's been a nice little
Batman, Green Lantern, Hawkman. He has a Hawkman shirt at the end. There's so much to love about this like comic, and maybe this could be the reference to a Mr. Miracle movie or the New Gods movie. That's a Mr. Miracle movie.
No.
You don't think so?
No, you can't use that.
You don't think so?
No way.
Too much?
Way. Yeah, it's way too much.
You'd have to dumb it down a bit for the movie.
I mean, you just think you can't just throw the anti-life equation and darks at people. Like, they wouldn't understand what the hell's going on.
You really do have to dumb it down a bit.
I mean, you maybe could do it as like a little real small indie film and go for like the not pretentious route, but
I definitely doubt it'll be a small indie film. I think they're gonna go like a couple millions of dollars of budget or $100 million budget. So, but yeah, listen, I very much enjoy just reading this issue and kind of just getting lost in it because the art is amazing too. And I remember I didn't necessarily like the art in the beginning, but I think that was more so in certain panels. But when you read the whole thing, it's kind of like it's just an easy read. Like the art is very unique and it works for them. And it's weird. There's the one panel or the page with him in the Flash shirt, and the red shirt doesn't have like an outline around it. So it's like, it weirded me out a little bit, but I was like, that works.
I was like, have you never seen that before?
I probably have. It just kind of registered to me now,
I think he's had the Flash shirt on before he's done that.
Yeah, it just kind of registered with me now, so I thought that was...
It's like, if you look at the panel or the page where Barda smacks the Mr. Miracle poster. Yeah. Because he's brought up the war again. He's wearing that reverse Flash shirt, but there's no outline. It's just like
really? Because it seems like there's an outline.
No, it's just another shade of...
It looks like there's an outline in there. I'm looking at it.
No, it's all just that... It's just all that brown. Maybe like the outside, like to separate it from the couch, but everything else.
Also, if you like go more in the one where he's talking to the clerk, it seems like he has an outline it. Like
he has an outline now. That's why I mentioned that one specific page. Just you look at that one.
Okay.
Like all the detail and everything it wears. Normally it'd be black or a different color. Well, it actually is a different color, but yeah.
I thought it was funny that Tom King just was like making those Marvel references, man. I was like, that's funny.
It comes out of nowhere because I've never seen him do that before.
Yeah, me either. Like this is it's almost new, where it's kind of like a new element to his writing, or
it's just DC copying Marvel again.
I mean, yeah, but I really enjoyed this issue. I just hope the last two can live up to it. I think this is the best issue so far. I really enjoyed this specific issue. So I hope the last two can live it up. So.
Yeah. My first one, Cosmic Ghost Rider #2, and if you've seen Deadpool 2, it's essentially Deadpool 2. It's the exact same.
I haven't seen it, so I don't.
It's Deadpool 2 with a Donny Cates twist on it.
I actually
so infinitely better, but it's he he's taking little baby Thanos to this bar on this random planet, and he's telling him the story and like how he's meeting someone. He's like, it doesn't matter. These people don't matter. They're all about to die, and like he tells you that through the entire issue, and then you find out later on why. And it's because the story he's telling baby Thanos is the story that Galactus told him once, and like goes, oh, I'm just gonna meet him here to try and like help out with little baby Thanos, and no matter what he does, Thanos just tries to kill people, and he's trying to teach him. Like, there's the difference between killing people that are going to die anyway, and like just killing people for killing people. Like, you know, got to learn the right and the wrong.
I don't know. Just the imagery of baby Thanos holding like a big old thing of beer.
Oh, we're about to glass someone.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like,
right. Baby Thanos. But like, you know, Donny Cates even pokes fun at the entire premise. It's just like, it's the Punisher raising Thanos. Like, it's the dumbest thing in the history of thought. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, it kind of is. Yeah. But what are you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say the thing that surprised me the most, even though you told me it, was that there was a Howard the Duck Juggernaut.
I mean, we talked about it before.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
We talked about it right on here, and it's just like,
when? Do you know when exactly? Because I really don't remember.
Oh, it was about a month ago, maybe.
Why did we even talk about it? Like, how would it come up? Because
because they announced that there's gonna be the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're not the Guardians. They're weird.
See, I remember that, but the Asgardians of the Galaxy.
No, this was before that.
See, I don't remember this. Howard the Duck Juggernaut and how he showed up in my dreams, I have no idea.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
For people that don't know, Joe dreamt about the Juggerduck, just randomly. Yeah. He says he doesn't know about it, but subconsciously he knew about it.
Maybe.
But yeah, the Watcher shows up and tells him he's about to fuck up real bad, because trying to rehabilitate a universal constant where he will never change and can never change isn't a wise idea. And of course, with that, it changes the timeline of everything. And then you get the Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's Cable, the Juggerduck. That's I think it's
name, the Juggerduck.
He just rolls off the tongue. You got Jubilee, and I think that's a Captain America, Miss Marvel. I'm not 100%. It's got the lightning bolt on the shield, so I assume.
I'll look at it again real quick.
I think it's definitely Kamala, because she's got the little gold bangle on her wrist.
Yeah, I would say yeah. I want to say it is.
There's also, I think, there's Rocket Raccoon, but I'm not sure what he's supposed to be. He's got the little Kree star on his chest.
Marvel?
Maybe it's Captain Marvel Rocket.
Yeah. It's weird. Yeah. Yeah, see, the art has grown. I didn't necessarily feel that great about the art the first issue, but it definitely grew on me, honestly.
So who's the artist on this one?
I don't know, but I just love seeing sharks.
The sharks are cool. Always got to love space sharks. That's very much sharks. You can tell he admires Jason Aaron, because it's a very much Jason Aaron thing. But the artist is Dylan Burnett. And Antonio Fabella is the color artist.
It works well because it has kind of this... So what's the word I'm looking for?
It's like a playful look to it.
It's kind of like I don't want to say animated, like not animation, but
it looks animated. It's very much like a cartoon stylized.
It looks like it's free flowing in a way too for some reason, like the way the fire goes, and it's just the art really grew on me. I'm just definitely enjoying this art. So
yeah, if you're not reading Cosmic Ghost Rider.
You really should, because it's just
really damn good.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, I did not see like a lot of. There's so much stuff in here. I mean, like you said, the Watcher, the new Guardians, there's so much stuff happening in just one issue.
It's also Frank Castle as the Ghost Rider with a baby Thanos. There's nothing not to love.
Yeah, Juggerduck. Gotta love Juggerduck.
Say that Donny Cates is eventually, by the time his career is finished, he's gonna have slammed every single Marvel character together to make something else.
That's fine with me.
Calling it right now, I'm fine with it. Keeps everything different.
Yeah, somebody I saw a comment once say like, "This is silly, but in a good way."
Yeah.
Because like it is pretty silly all around.
That's kind of like all this thing, though, isn't it? It's like it's a cool idea. It doesn't matter how silly it is. It's a comic.
Yeah, I agree.
But people who read comics are more likely to buy silly shit, so let's go with that.
All right. So yeah, Going on to the next issue, I'm going to be talking about Batman 52. Now, I should have got this from the first issue. I don't know why I didn't get it from the first issue.
What, from number 1? Or...
No, from 51.
Oh, 51.
Kind of like what this arc is going to be about. I definitely am enjoying this arc a whole lot. But the arc is essentially Batman feels like he was set up to get Mr. Freeze to jail. So it's just and the only way to get Mr. Freeze out of jail, because he knows he messed up as Batman, is to be Bruce and to be part of the jury. Yeah. Which is crazy, because it's like Bruce is trying to stop Batman, but the only way Bruce knows how would be to be part of the justice system, which, a lot of people say the justice system doesn't work, and they usually say it when superheroes are around too. That's why we need superheroes or vigilantes.
I'm trying to explain a bit more, because I'm kind of lost. He's trying to stop himself.
Okay, yes, because just to explain to you in a way, so it would be this dead bodies showed up, right? 3 dead girl bodies show up, or 3 dead bodies, or women bodies, whatever. They showed up. Gotham PD tried to investigate, did an autopsy, found nothing. Later on, Batman came in, did an autopsy himself, and found that each of them, their brains were kind of frozen over, or like they had some coat, they were really cold. And
how the fuck does an autopsy miss that?
That's exactly what that's what Bruce said to the other jurors. How would Batman be able to find something that the Gotham PD couldn't? And they all said, Batman's better, isn't he? He's smarter, he can see stuff they can't. And Bruce said, basically, but what if what if the brains were normal and then they were cold? What if in between that time from when they did an autopsy to when Batman did one, somebody did something to them?
That's an interesting idea.
So that's how after he caught and forced Mr. Freeze to a confession, he started to realize, go down his tracks, like, this all seems really convenient. And he thought to himself, maybe somebody set me up to get Mr. Freeze to go to jail. And he thinks Freeze is innocent. So the only way to get him out of it through the legal system, because it seemed like he was like under parole, was living his life and whatever, he became one of the jurors. And to me, that's just an interesting concept, man. I didn't really think of something like that, but Tom King is great at kind of these smaller psychological issues.
Yeah, that's definitely where he shines.
Yeah, so like the way you said it too, like how would they miss something like that? That's exactly like the point of the issue. How would they? Because somebody planted something there. So at least that's what Bruce is thinking. And it's going to go...
I mean, it has to be.
It has to be, right? So he has to get reason with the other jurors and kind of say, look, he's innocent and this is why. But it's hard because he can't just say, I'm Batman and I know I messed up, So
yeah, it's
going to be interesting to see where it goes from here. This whole kind of issue is really just in that one room and them talking to each other. And it has flashbacks to him fighting Freeze and stuff like that, but he gets to meet the other jurors, he learns their name a bit and kind of tells stories, and you hear stories from the other lives of the jurors, and it's just interesting. It's like, I never thought I would care this much about jury duty. Like, really.
It's what a good writer can do.
Yeah, Tom King's a great writer when it's just smaller scale and you have to think about it. But, I mean, it's not, it's like what we say kind of with Scott Snyder, right? He's great, but when you have to think about stuff, you're like, yeah. With Tom King,
we'll get to that
have
later
to think
on,
about it. Yeah. I mean, later on, that's actually James Tynion, but still.
Yeah, that was kind of my point.
So, but yeah, I just really enjoy this issue. There's so much depth to it. The art is great, and it's just a great kind of, what's the word? This is sequel? No, it's just a great like arc right after what just happened, because everybody started shitting on Tom King based on him just telling Catwoman to say no and stuff like that, but he's like flexing his muscles or something like that in this one, because he's just like, y'all thought it sucked? Come on, man. This is the long game we're playing. I don't know, man. Like, it's just it's hard. It's hard to say anything more than it was just really that good, and I just loved all the stuff that he did in this issue. And I hear a lot of people talking good about it too. Honestly, even though
It makes a nice change.
some people are still stuck on the whole that they didn't get married, but a majority of people are moving on and kind of saying like, "Wow,
It's like
wow, Tom
people
King."
people will be stuck on the fact they didn't get married for years. Look
Yeah,
at One More Day with Marvel. People still aren't over that. It's like it's been like 12 years.
yeah, but
No,
this is cool because I think the arc is called Batman versus Bruce Wayne, and it's interesting because you know we see it sometimes with some writers where they try to put an emphasis on Bruce and kind of how he can do more stuff than Batman. A lot of times, a lot of people just stick to Batman, which is fine, and there's interesting stuff there. And but it, now that it's just more on Bruce and kind of what he can do, maybe that's the second half. Maybe doing like so. The
yeah.
first half was a lot of Batman stuff, right? The first half of his big long 100 issues. Maybe the second half is more Bruce stuff. Who knows? Or
I
maybe
mean, yeah.
this arc. I don't know. Yeah, that's kind.
But
That's kind
I
of. I can
wonder,
go on forever, really.
yeah. I wonder if Tom King and Spencer have talked though.
Why? What happened? Is there something in
Well,
Iron Man?
Tom. Well, no.
Oh.
Tom King's like, oh, I'm gonna have Bruce against Batman, and Spencer's like, I'm gonna split Spider-Man and Peter Parker. It's like, what's going on?
Whoa! Well, see, they're copying each other. What do we say?
Yeah.
We gotta have Aaron and Snyder like you have to push them apart.
So we're just gonna have to separate the class. We really are.
Yeah. So King, Snyder to the right, and then Aaron and Regan. What was the other one? I forgot.
Say DC on the left, Marvel on the right.
Yeah, basically. I almost forgot. What's his face? What am I forgetting?
I don't know.
His name.
Spencer?
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot Nick Spencer. He wrote I really enjoyed Secret Empire, but I just forgot his name.
I swear you change your opinion on Secret Empire every
No,
week.
I say I don't like the ending.
Fair enough.
I always say I don't like the ending. I like Secret Empire, but especially the way it starts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I could go on forever about this issue, so we shouldn't.
I'm upset, chat. I'm
upset.
extremely upset.
He's upset. He's upset, Chad.
I'm very upset. I've been hurt twice this week by two different writers that I thought I could trust, but I can't. Death of the Inhumans #2. It's a very quick reading issue, and I don't know how he managed to fill out a full issue with what he did. But you get a bit more why, or I say a bit more. You get the why things are happening, and essentially it's. But if you go way back, Cates likes doing stuff with Bendis's work for some reason. But if you go way back into Bendis's Guardians run, like Hala got destroyed, which is the Kree homeworld, and before that happened, a bunch of Kree were sent off because they used to be explorers, kind of a bit like Moana. So you send the Kree off, and then generations and generations of Kree never saw Hala, they never knew Hala. So they eventually get back and they find it all destroyed because of what Bendis did. And that's kind of why they're pissed. They're like, you know what, fuck it, the Kree are weak. No, or the Kree became weak. They've all changed this stuff. That we got rid of all the old Kree. We're building the Empire up to be as strong as it used to be. And you've been let to run free and live your lives, and we're saying no. Like, you're military tools. You're slaves. You're ours. Join or die.
So
and
they went up against the Master, basically, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all the while you see this Black Bolt's writing down like 2,000 names of the Inhumans that Vox killed in the last issue, and he's like, right,
good.
like we're gonna surrender, and he sends Karnak because Karnak wanted to be there, and they have the whole little meeting, and then he gets into what Cates has called the Black Eulogy, and it's just Black Bolt walking in saying the names of every single Inhuman that's died, and it's just like, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
but then you get the final bit where you think Karnak's gonna die because Karnak should have died, but no, Black Bolt has to be like, no, take me instead, like spare him, and so he just teleports behind Black Bolt and cuts his throat open. And it's just like, oh, I'm extremely upset.
So, is he actually dead, though?
I don't know if Black Bolt is dead. That's the one thing they do, is they don't show you the dead body.
Because on the next cover, it has Black Bolt, so it's like,
Yeah, but that's a cover though, isn't it?
Yes.
It's also got. Oh, I assumed that was Ronan, but I don't think it is Ronan. But no, whether he's just done it to stop Black Bolt from speaking, I don't know, because that kind of, even if he lives, he can't use his voice anymore because he hasn't got vocal cords left.
You know, it's only 5 issues. I keep forgetting it's only 5 issues, and
Is it only 5?
Yeah.
Thank God it's only 5.
So you don't have to live
I
through
can't take much more.
Yeah, you don't have to live through the death for so long. But
At first I was like, oh, they're gonna kill Karnak. It's like, I'm fine with Karnak going. Like, no, Black Bolt's gonna survive. And it's like, oh no, fuck you. It's
Cage
like,
is so good at twists, man. That you don't see coming. He's really good.
He subverts what the obvious would be.
Yeah.
But yeah. Even though I liked the last bit, it's like, so allow me to be the first to say shush or hush.
Yeah, I thought
It's like, you son of a bitch.
He's really great at those like one-liners to end like end a page or something to it, or to even end a comic. But yeah, I definitely, like, you know, we thought we had theorized for so long what could Vox, or who could he be from? Is he black but from another dimension? Is he this and that?
Cates has said that there's a reason why he looks like Earth X Black Bolt.
Yeah.
Like, there is a reason, and we will find out the reason. Hopefully it'll be next issue, but it's just like, man.
I mean,
I'm upset.
I like the way that they set it up, though, of how they just came back. You're like, y'all are just weaker. We thought y'all were going to get stronger, y'all didn't.
Yeah,
I like that, to be honest. But
it's a very simple motivation, but he makes it work.
No, my favorite part has to be the whole, like, writing the names and knowing all the names and then saying them all. That's such, like, I don't know if that's a simple and small detail about, like, Black Bolt, because it is, like, pretty huge in terms of, like, in this comic where he says the names and everything, but the King knows all of them. He's a man of the people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something, of course, the TV show did, yeah, but...
No, this is something that's like, why couldn't we get this on screen?
Yeah.
Like, not necessarily, like, the death of them, but, like, just the whole... I'm just going to walk in here and just shout the names of everyone you've killed.
And imagine the TV show was just one season because it's the death of the Inhumans.
I mean, I blame that TV show for this. 100%. Like, Kate's going to say it wasn't because the show all he wants, but I couldn't.
So what? Do you think Marvel was just like, so guys, we're going to kill off the Inhumans. Anybody have good ideas? And Kate's like,
100%. 100%. If the Inhumans hadn't have bombed and the comics did well, this wouldn't be happening.
Oh, so sad. They're such great characters.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm upset. I'll get over it, but
I'm upset.
I'm upset, and I'll be even more upset in my
50,
next
50 issue. Oh wait, that's a Drake song. But let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm trying not to talk about it more because I know it makes you upset, but it's just a really well drawn, well written.
It's really well done.
Story. The structure of it is great, and just how it ends is just
that's the bit that hurts the most. Is
how it ends. Yeah,
it's like, oh, it's so good, but it hurts.
I get you, man. I get you. It sucks that they had to bomb it, because if it is that way that they bombed and this is what happened, but I still think it's going to be a great couple of stories. How long do you think they're going to be dead for?
Who knows? Who knows? It'll be longer than a year.
Are we sure we're not calling it the birth of the Inhumans? Are you sure that's not the sequel to this?
I mean, they could. I don't know what they could plan in, but
I don't see. Inhumans, the birth of the Inhumans, and then it's not even Black Bolt anymore. It's what's his kid's name?
Ahura.
Yeah, it's him in like a new settlement of Inhumans.
That would be lame because Ahura sucks.
What if Kate makes him good?
He's such a bitch.
What if they had a secret child that is not Ahura or whatever? Say Aurora.
Actually, you saw Ahura in the first issue. Whatever happened to him?
I don't know, but
I can't remember.
Or maybe not his kid, because I don't know. I thought it'd be his kid, but somebody, they started a new settlement or whatever, and because the thing to me, this is like, how do you stop Vox? I feel like no one stops them for a good 30. It's kind of like Age of Ultron. Like, nobody's, like, remember in that Young Avengers little animated movie? Nobody stops them until like 30 years later.
Yeah.
Or something
like
that.
You can carry on with something like that, but
yeah, Ahura.
Ahura is really sketchy, chat.
I say Aurora for some reason, but it's Ahura. I can't even say it. Ahura.
Ahura.
Ahura. Okay.
Yeah, Ahura.
Yeah, being a Donny Cates fan is torturous, but we're also shields for him, so it's like it's fun and torture.
But
Love being
it's
tortured.
annoying. I say it's annoying, but you know, you get something like Cosmic Ghost Rider, but then in the same week you get Destiny Humans, and it's just like, oh, thanks. No, you team me up just to smack me down. No.
I know it's almost like I like torturing myself because I keep just looking at that last page of him teleporting behind
It's
him saying
really
hush.
well done.
It's
It's
so well
really well done.
drawn, and it's just like I keep looking at it, but I'm trying to look away because it's I like Black Bolt.
And it's graphic as well. You
Yeah,
don't often see that graphic in comics.
hush, such a good ending. But I hate
I
it.
just want to know more about Vox. Like, I
Yeah, me
want to know
too.
more about. Like, give me some info on this bastard so I can hate them more.
Is that the next cover? Is like the next cover? Because that's a really whoever did that art is so good.
Oh, what? The one with the Kree and
It looks like
Black Bolt?
Mjolnir.
Looks like what?
Like the hammer, Thor's hammer. I say Mjolnir.
Oh, it's not Mjolnir, no.
Okay.
The Kree have similar hammers, but it's not.
But yeah, that art is just that cover art is amazing.
They've all had really good covers.
Yeah, this one was too. This one's like it almost seems like it's painted on.
Yeah. Even though he has a scythe, but I don't think we've seen him use the scythe. He's just walked in and fucked shit up.
Yeah. Yeah, he hasn't really used it. You're right. I wonder why. Maybe it's too much, too edgy. Scythe is
He'll
too
probably
edgy.
use it to cut Medusa's hair and then like slice her in half because fuck me, right?
Oh god, I'm not looking forward to that. It's pretty graphic, man. What are you gonna say? Yeah. I mean, I think all around just excited to see where it goes from here because Cates is just gonna kill it and kill them. So
Literally kill it.
yeah,
He'll probably burn the book just to like the final nail in the coffin. It's like,
I wonder if in the next Comic Con he's at, somebody's gonna go up to him in a Black Bolt and Vox cosplay and just go hush. That'd be wild in person.
I would.
You gotta watch out though, because they might like, I don't, people might think it's real.
I mean,
They don't allow weapons in a lot of places now. You know?
I mean, you got to make them look fake, haven't you?
Yeah. I mean, you could just not have a weapon. You could just have your hand, right? Because
Yeah.
the security's like crazy now. So you gotta, because some cons they don't even allow any type of weapons. They have to like check everything too, and it's like I mean they always did, but now it's like even crazier. But yeah, all right. I think we can go on to the next one, which is gonna be Justice League #5, which essentially is the birth of the Legion of Doom, and it's Tinian writing. One thing I always talked about Tinian was that he writes a lot of dialogue. This is no different, and it's not. I don't know if it's a bad thing, but when I got to like page like, was it 5 or something like that? It might have been 5. Like the first, it's like you see all the. Let me find it real quick. Cause I just know you see like all the different like halls, like or you see the Legion, like you see the hall, whatever in the lava. If you remember that part,
The Hall of Doom.
yeah. If when you see that part, I looked at all like the 12 pieces of like dialogue boxes. I was like, that's a lot of fucking dialogue, bro. I was like, I'm in for a read now.
That's probably about half the dialogue that Bendis would fit on a single page.
God damn.
No, you'll eventually see in like Superman, there's just like a wall of
Yeah,
dialogue.
I don't know about that. Sometimes there's way too much dialogue. You gotta calm down with that.
I mean, he's got a lot to explain,
Yeah, but sometimes there's just a lot. And this one, there was a lot, but I guess there was a lot to explain. And as I said, this is really the birth of the Legion of Doom. Lex kind of just going around giving recruiting speeches, dropping the bag of money, saying, you should join us over here. We'll make a super team, basically. But yeah, I thought, like, the way Tinian wrote Lex, I thought was perfect. 100%.
Yeah. The art's a bit funky. There's one page where he's smiling, and it's just like, I don't
weird.
think that's not the expression you wanted to give off.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's another one with like the Flash in it, right? And to me, I was just like, looks a little funky. Like his head is like tilted weird, and it's like whatever. But yeah, so this is almost basically like in the right as the source was being broken, if I remember correctly, because like it seems like Sinestro still wants to maybe help the universe and stuff like that. And
this jumps all over the place in like time wise.
Yeah, so so I'm trying to break it down a bit because what Tinian does with Lex and what he's able to do here, I mean, whether I don't know if Snyder wasn't able to do it just because there's so much other stuff happening, or he just didn't think of it.
I want to know why Tinian's done this issue. 'Cause it's just so random. Like why?
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I guess they were gonna need an origin
or
story.
or is it because like Snyder wanted the Legion of Doom to have that different feel to the Justice League, so he got a different writer on for it.
Maybe, right? Man, that
So he just separates them that
and
little bit more.
you got to give him credit for that, for knowing when to bring on other writers for certain
I mean,
things.
he could bring Tinian on for the entire book. I'd be fine.
Yeah, me too, because I love Tinian. I love Justice League Dark. But this is so even different than Justice League Dark when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because the whole idea is to kind of show off or showcase Luthor and what I guess Tinian thinks is his ultimate self, and that is to just embrace kind of who you are in a way, and that is Lex. Lex is always about embracing who he is. You know, sometimes he can get in his own way of thinking. Like, he even says it here: you want to be like somebody else, but why? Be yourself.
Yeah.
But in the simplest way.
It's a very interesting setup.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting how they led it from Lex being Superman to Lex now being this. It's the dominant force is entropy, so fuck it. Why bother?
Well, I guess that makes sense though, because he worked his whole life to try to be the best he can be, and to like for the people to care about him. He's always wanted a lot of people to care for him and to see him as like the savior, whether it be hero or villain. And he just realized that everything he worked for this whole time was like just a waste. Like, why did I waste my time?
It's also a very timely theme. It's a very like, why bother? No.
I guess so, right? In a little way, it is
very relevant to what's been happening.
It is. It's like, why bother just trying? Like, just if I was just me, I'd do it. But in a way, it's weird because there's the why bother sense, and there's the embrace your primal instinct sense that he said. I was like, well, okay then. Like, he just wants everybody to start killing.
It's like be you. It's also, and I don't know how I feel about the whole reasoning behind everything. It's like, I went to the future, I saw that I was right, but I wasn't around to realize I was right, so I'm gonna fix it. It's just like, it's a bit wonky.
That part, I don't know if you need it, because I felt like the aspect of him realizing what he did was a waste would have been good enough.
Else was a lot better. Also, like his dad having like the doorknob and everything. It's like,
see that I'm okay with. That I'm okay. That is kind of like in destiny in a way for him.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's a bit too convenient. I think. So, my dad had all this stuff and knew all this stuff. It's like, well,
okay. See, maybe you should have had more of a like a Lionel kind of explanation. Like, we maybe need to learn a little bit more about him. The only Lionel I know is mostly for Smallville. Of course, he's been in comics, but the only one I remember a lot more of is Smallville, and the Lionel in Smallville was very distinct. Like, he would always prefer Clark over Lex, which made Lex kind of feel like unwanted. It was like, you know what, well, I'm going to make myself better than Clark. I'm going to be a more powerful person. So.
Yeah, but like just his dad having all this stuff is like.
And Lionel had stuff like that in, like he always had secret stuff in the show too. But I'm just assuming that it's kind of based around the same thing, that he was always had the secret like stuff behind it, maybe societies, and I don't know, like he was holding his own.
It was just really strange. It's like, my dad knew all the secrets of the universe. It's like, well, how?
He should have maybe like, if there was a little bit like, see, yeah. I think I would have been more okay with that. Kind of the future thing wasn't there. I don't know. The future thing does feel out of nowhere, because I just felt like him realizing that everything was a waste was such a better motivation than kind of like, I just want everybody to see me be.
It all works together. It's just the future bit is a bit wonky, and it's just like it's probably the weakest part. It's just like, okay.
I feel you. But other than that, like, I still thought the way he talked to Grodd, the way he talked to Sinestro. Yep. I thought the dialogue was great, and just Tinian, man. Tinian, like, he kills it every time. I think the first DC thing he did was Detective Comics in Rebirth, and ever since then, I remember talking about it and saying, like, this guy, I really hope he does more. And now he's doing more, and it took a minute because, of course, he wasn't really that long here, but now he's on 2 Justice League books. He's doing the origin of Legion of Doom, and he's doing Justice League Dark. And I think he's still doing Detective Comics, which I kind of got off of. But that's not out of him.
I'll say Is he on it, or is someone taking over Detective
I
Comics?
think he's still on it, but that I didn't get off of it because I wasn't interested in it anymore. It's still, the stuff I was reading was still really good. It's just that at some point there was more important stuff I had to read, and that
Yeah,
one was just
yeah,
because I wanted to read it. You know, I wanted to talk
yeah.
about it. Like but there was more important stuff. But let's see. You know what? I'm gonna pick it up now. I'm gonna pick it up again and kind of let's see where, like, in terms of talking about it here. Um, but let's see if Tinian is still writing Detective Comics because I'm very curious.
Chat. I'm pretty certain we are going to get more Legion of Doom issues.
Yeah, I
I
think
think they're
there's a
gonna.
two-parter,
I
three-parter.
think they're handling it similar to how Avengers is. So like every few Avengers issues, you're gonna get an issue about another part of the story. It's like you'll have the origin of the prehistoric Ghost Rider, and then this you'll have like Legion of Doom. You'll have, we've just had Lex, and then we'll probably get maybe Cheetah because we've had nothing about Cheetah and Joker
Yeah.
yet. Like Joker's there, and Black Manta as well. Actually, I've only just realized that, like, where
Huh.
was Joker, Cheetah, and Manta in this issue? They were in like one panel. Like everything
Yeah,
else.
I'd have to. You'd have to assume, right, that the next one was gonna be about how he recruited
Yeah,
them.
yeah. I mean, I assume like they weren't in this because Snyder hasn't done anything with them yet.
I mean, I guess
He's
that's so
only
too.
really focused on like
Grimes
three.
and Estro, yeah.
Five. But I did like how it's like all across the universe, everyone was getting like the little shivers and like the flame pits and apocalypse were going higher and all that because
Yeah,
it was
I
like,
thought that was cool too, and just kind of like Doom. And remember we were talking about with Manhunter and kind of how the Hall of Justice was based around his symbol for hope,
yeah,
and this is a symbol for Doom. That was the lead. I really like stuff like that, like symbols. I think symbols are powerful,
yeah.
and I really enjoyed this. Okay, so
There's actually one bit where the art gets really fucking wonky,
oh
and
yeah,
it's when he succeeds and like the future timeline gets wiped out. There's the statue of Lex, and there's just two dots and a line for the face. Good
so
and shat.
uh. Currently, the latest issue of Detective Comics was July 25th, 2018. Um, So no, it says right here, Brian Hill is now writing Detective Comics. I wondered when he stopped off, or when he just like dropped off. Because I'm very curious if he did it like, because it's at 985. He thought it would have been at 1,000, but I guess not.
Mm.
Let's
I
see.
say I heard that he wasn't on it anymore.
Yeah, I assume so as well, but I didn't know for sure. Let's see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at, because I remember the last one I read was with him and Black Lightning was Tini. No, that was Brian Hill. This is Detective Comics 981. We James Tinian. The last one he did was 981, which was May 23rd. Recently, it's kind of recent.
Mm.
I guess now it's August, so it's 3 months, but really just 2 full months. Um, right? Yeah. So what was this one about? Because I remember reading this. It was I remember reading Batwoman and kind of like that aspect about it, and how she was getting locked up, and yeah, that was pretty much the ending of it. What happened with Batwoman? I remember I
Yeah.
read that, so never mind. I skipped around like with the Black Lightning part because I was just like, I don't really want to read this. So I got off at the right time. The right time.
I was gonna
James Tinian.
say like no one cares about Black Lightning, so
Yeah, that's why I didn't read that one, but it was also Brian Hill. I don't know what Brian Hill also does, so I haven't really read his yet. But yeah, Tinian on Dark, great. Can't wait for that one. And Justice League, hopefully he does more Doom issues because I love the way he writes Lex. And honestly, like, it just. Oh yeah, this is that one smile he does. Yeah, you're right. I'm seeing it now.
it's just so weird.
Oh wait, I don't know how I feel about this, and I think because Avengers and Justice League are both copying each other, but there's 5 other forces. Like there's 7 forces in the
Yeah,
universe.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we know. I don't know. Is Avengers doing something similar to that?
I think so. Right?
Is it?
No.
I don't think it is.
No, maybe not. Maybe it's like one of those things where they are later, but it's because Scott Snyder can't
I
do
was gonna
something
say
later.
I can see something like that happening in
He has
Avengers.
to do everything now for some reason. I don't know why. Um,
Unless, how many forces are there?
there's 7, right? There's Invisible Spectrum, the Still Force.
Oh, so there's 7. So there's 7 Infinity Stones. That's what's going to
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
exactly.
There's 7 Infinity Stones. They made another one, right? Yeah.
I mean, technically there's 7. I don't think they have the rights to the 7th one
Uh,
because it's from an old 80s crossover with I can't think what the
I also thought
company
7
was called.
because 7 Justice League members, 7 just
Yeah.
Tico Stone. You're right. Um, Yeah, I'm curious to see what other forces. I'm sure the other ones are going to be talking about the Force. So this one was the Still Force, and of course the Invisible Spectrum. And then we're going to see what Cheetah got. We're going to see what Black Manta and Joker got. Cause what could the Joker even want? Like, what was that one part? One of them said, like, I don't know what scared me more, the fact, the laughing or the killing. Right?
Oh, that was Cheetah about because Joker wanted to test the
Oh,
torture
that
chamber up
yeah, the
himself.
laughing or that he did it
Yeah,
on himself or something like that.
yeah,
And yeah, that's a. It's almost like that's a TVMA type of stuff. Like, whoa,
yeah, yeah.
it's kind of
So
darker. It's a
apparently,
darker.
issue 8 is going to be Cheetah and Manta. Thank God, but that's 3 issues away, though. So
Yeah, and I wonder what's because what is this 5? What is 6 about? Are they going to sprinkle in? So they're going to have the next 2 Justice League issues be majority of like Cheetah and Manta fighting Aquaman and Wonder Woman, and then 8 is going to be about their origin of how they.
I mean,
got here?
Aquaman's not going to come into it until
Oh yeah,
the
Put
big arc. So
your favorite issues coming up. Issue 9, putting the moon back together.
yay, finally!
That's kind of funny.
Why not just destroy it at the end of the arc? It makes no sense.
Yeah, Scott Snyder has this thing of like not wanting to wait. He just kind of does everything at once.
Yeah, but it's just like it would be 1,000 times better if he did.
Yeah, probably. But yeah.
Like it's gonna sound really harsh on Snyder. He writes like a kid. It's like just throw everything in there, like all really cool ideas, but you should have kind of split them up a little bit.
But yeah, that's gonna be it. You go in.
Yeah, my last one is Infinity Wars #1 by Duggan and Deodato, and Deodato does like the work of his career in this. Like just the first page of like Gamora's face is stunning, just like holy shit. But some people don't think he's best suited for cosmic stuff. I think we'll find out because this was very.
I think
like,
the art is suited for it.
I think the way they've done this story makes it suit him.
I really
There's
like
not
this
really-
art.
Like, there's not very much of like a cosmic feel to this one, apart from the stones. But I will just say I called it last week. I was right.
Say it again.
So but yeah, we get the meeting of the new Infinity Watch, and of course it doesn't really go to plan because Turk Barrett with the Mind Stone is just a random dude with the Mind Stone. He shouldn't really have the Mind Stone at all. So it all goes tits up for him. They learn that Thanos is dead. Yeah, he's been beheaded. That's been everywhere this last week. So they just killed Thanos. It's like, yeah, they have. It's not the first time he's died, but it won't be the last. Yeah, it's.
But you called who Requiem is? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I called it Requiem.
See, I don't even remember you saying.
I said it last week. I said it's either, like I think it's going to be Gamora, or it's going to be Thane. There was a little bit.
Oh
of it
yeah, and then we started hating
being
on Thane.
Yeah, because Thane is a little bit of a bitch.
It almost feels like a weird sequel to Infinity War.
What does?
Or this, like, because Thanos dies and Gamora's the one who's.
Oh yeah.
It's like just the other way around.
So spoilers. We find out Gamora is Requiem. So
I like that.
It's a very different way to take like an Infinity Stone story. It's all because she just wants her soul back, or like her soul to be complete, and she will stop at nothing because it's been driving her mad.
You know why? Because her alternate universe self, she got sacrificed for the Soul Stone.
Spoilers, but you haven't seen the film.
Oh, okay. But they don't know what I'm talking about. But I mean, it could have been another comic.
All right, it could have been like yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I wonder if this is kind of like they wrote this in a way to mirror, the movie.
I don't know because it's nothing like the movie.
No, but not to mirror like simple stuff like Thanos.
I suppose you could say it's a little wink. It's like, oh look, Thanos dies, but it's Gamora and Soul Stone. Especially maybe you could make the connection, but
I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, or maybe who wrote it? Who's writing it?
Jerry Duggan.
Yeah, we'd have to ask him. Somebody tweet at him. Hey, did you all do this on purpose after well, I'm sure this was like during their like Infinity War.
I'd say here's the thing: if you go back and look at his Guardians run, he set this up from the start.
Okay. See, I need to go back. So,
yeah. Like that was a year and a half ago, give or take, maybe 2 years.
I tried catching up for this one with all the other like primes and whatnots and all the tie-ins, and it's just a lot. but I was almost done, and then I was like, damn, I have to go to sleep. So
No, there is a lot because they've definitely spent their time building this
yeah,
up.
but this is gonna be epic. This is gonna be epic, and it is epic. Just from the get go. I mean, I just looking at the art. I love the art. Who does the art?
Mike Diodato.
Yeah, I love the art. I just think it. I know you said like there's not a lot of like cosmic-y stuff yet.
No, I'll be interested to see what he's like with proper weird cosmic stuff.
Yeah, because right now he's just doing people and real world stuff, and it's like it looks so good, especially the heroes.
But
But
he does a really fucking mean Gamora.
yeah,
Like does Gamora really well. He does Groot really well as well, actually.
I just love the little standoff that they had. Yeah,
That little
Gamora's done really well, man. Peter looks, he looks like Chris Pratt.
He looks weird in some panels.
Yeah,
There are some times where he gets a little bit wonky, but apart from that, I can't really fault the art.
does she really kill Peter though?
Spoilers, yes, she does kill Peter.
I mean, is that spoilers? We're literally talking about the comic.
Yeah, I know, but I hadn't got to that part yet.
Oh, I thought you were.
Because spoilers again, I'm upset.
You're
Like,
upset.
can we stop killing everything I love? Like, please. Like, but then as she says, nothing ever dies.
But
Like nothing really dies.
because I don't know, it's hard. Like it's hard not to make a connection to the movie where she asks Peter the whole time, like, "You have to kill me," and he tries to at one point.
Yeah,
And
you could make that.
I don't know,
But
it's just weird.
he doesn't try and kill her though.
No, not in this one, but she kills him. She tries and does.
She does straight up stab him.
Yeah, so it's like
With
one of those things.
Like, Christ.
It's like the alternate universe version of Infinity Wars. Infinity War. I mean, it is called Infinity Wars. I love the Requiem design. I don't know about you. I still like it. Even though we know it's Gamora, I still really liked it.
I still really like it.
Yeah.
And Duggan could call Requiem a he all he wanted the entire way. So obviously a female.
You thought of it the entire way, or what? Was it him putting emphasis on he?
I've said it on here. It's clearly a girl.
I think I remember you specifically saying that. But was it because he put emphasis on that it's a he, and he just kept saying he, or did you just looked at it?
It's just every picture you saw. Yeah. It had the figure of a woman. No dude has that figure. Period. But when he's saying he, it's like it's kind of a weird thing to say. But I suppose it's to put you off the track of it. But
yeah.
No, this is again, his Guardians run was fantastic. Infinity Countdown was great. The Prime issue was great.
Yeah, I'm trying to
he's just proper swerving every expectation. They could have quite easily fallen into the trap of this is for the movie people. It's let's just kind of do the same thing over and over again, even though he has said it's not the same thing over and over again. And they've actually done something different. And I can't tell you where this is going. I assume she's gonna get her soul back.
You know what I really like? The cover for Infinity Wars 2. When you look at the very next in Infinity Wars, I want that on a poster. So I want that on my wall.
One where she's holding everyone.
Yeah, and it just looks so great. I want that as my screensaver or something.
It is a really damn.
I want that on my phone now. I need to find a good cover because that's just perfect. I love that cover.
Even though it's funny because Captain Marvel's got short hair there, but she's actually got long hair. So.
Here.
There's a little nice tie-in to Life of Captain Marvel when she turns up. It's like, how's your crew situation?
Is Requiem gonna be Ghost?
What? Requiem's not Ghost. It's Gamora.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. It's a really solid start to what's been a really solid.
How long is this? 6 issues.
Yeah, but I don't know how long it's going to go on for. You got the whole Infinity Warps thing.
Oh yeah.
I think that's towards the end of the series. So I don't know. They're obviously going to stop between, unless all Infinity Warps comes out within a month. I can't remember, but I'm here for this event completely.
Was Sandman there? What?
Sandman was there. Yeah.
I didn't realize until now.
Yeah. Yeah, there's Sandman, there's Spot, Bullseye.
Yeah.
Who else does Stark bring along? I can't remember.
Some detective guy.
Who's the detective guy? What?
I don't know. I don't know too much Marvel. Like I said, thought about the stone was about money. I was wrong. This is power.
So that's Turk.
Yes, it's Turk. Well, there you go. My bad. I didn't know.
Well, so it's interesting that Iron Lad's there. Yes, it's a Kang, and Kangs know everything about themselves, I suppose. But Like, why Iron Lad? But it's whatever. It'd be
Yeah.
interesting to see where this goes from here on out.
Damn. One
Also,
of
I forgot to mention the Loki with the Infinity Stones and the Mjolnir.
I thought you were talking
That was,
about Loki wearing the Infinity Stones. I thought that was
that's
funny.
literally what I was about to bring
Oh,
up.
okay, yeah, because that's just funny. That's a fashion statement that only Tom Hiddleston
Yeah.
can do.
It's also nice. It's like, oh look, other realities, and Loki's the good guy because he's obviously searching for why everything's kind of against him and why nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
I said Tombstone and Typhoid Mary. That two. Yeah, thank you, chat. But yeah, it's just a really good issue. I don't know what else I can say about it.
One of my favorite parts is when the artist, in some of these pages, when the artist does like the panels that are interconnecting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a very common staple.
I like
He did
that.
and it works really well. It's something different, you know. You get the 9 panel layout that like Mitch Gerards and DC like to use at the minute. Like Diodatta's like, let's just have 1,000 panels, but with like one image. So yeah, that's the end of our comics for this week.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was an hour show, I think.
True talk, to make it to an hour. What are your pull lists for next week? I have no idea because I don't know what's coming out next
Don't
week.
even know what's out next week.
I mean, I could have a quick look, but
Same here, because it's about to be an hour soon.
Let's
See,
say what's coming out from DC next week?
don't know. That's what I'm looking right now. Which is next week?
Why
One
is
week
it
out.
Marvel? Why is it Marvel letting me look at next week's?
1 week out. Yeah, not Detective Comics. Sandman Universe. Yes, I knew it was coming out next week. I forgot about that. Yes, Sandman
It's
Universe
starting
is
that soon,
out.
Christ.
Yeah, it's starting next week. Titans, Superman, Sandman Universe.
Did I read Superman #1? I can't remember.
Can't remember either.
I think I might have done.
Really not a fan of both, but you know, it is what it is.
I thought you liked the first issue.
Maybe I did that one. Yeah, maybe I did Superman. I think maybe I was thinking Action Comics I didn't like.
Yeah.
I can't believe Joshua Williamson's still on Flash. He thought he would have like gave up by now and just like give it to somebody else and done something else. Yeah, that's kind of it.
Marvel Fantastic Four #1. How did I forget that one? Amazing Spider-Man #3. There's Quicksilver #4. What else is coming out? Champions 23. Yeah, I got quite a small, at least from Marvel anyway. I can't bother to look at Image because I don't know what's coming out from there. So yeah, that'll bring us to the end of the show. So thank you for joining, everyone. Thanks to the chat for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.
Toodles.